Next year, the world of youth soccer will continue its evolution as all members of U.S. Soccer begin to transition on two key factors to encourage further youth development. The first change will be the nationwide adoption of small-sided games, and the second will be a shift from school year to calendar year for the age grouping of teams. We sat down with U.S. Youth Soccer Director of Coaching Sam Snow to answer some of your questions about the upcoming changes.
The decision has been made by U.S. Soccer on two player development initiatives, which are to change the player registration to birth year, calendar year, and also to go to small-sided games for players 12 years old and younger. U.S. Soccer is the national governing body for soccer in the United States, given that authority by the United States Olympic Committee and by FIFA. So they have put forward for all of their members, which are on the youth side, and that includes US Youth Soccer, SAY Soccer, AYSO, US Club Soccer, USSSA. All of those organizations are now obliged as members of the Federation to follow these two mandates. In the 60s, 70s, early 80s, maybe even prior to the 60s, youth soccer, the players were indeed registered and organized by their year of birth. You can look at the McGuire Cup, which is the oldest youth championship in the country, started in 1935. And you'll see that many of the teams actually have, as a part of the team name, the year of the player's birth in the team name. So this is not an unusual thing for the United States. It's just that in the early 80s, we made the change at the time that FIFA made the change worldwide to school year. Just after a couple of years of FIFA having done that, they switched back worldwide to the calendar year, to the birth year, and the United States decided, we've just gone through this massive change, we're not going to do it again, and so we've been with the school year grouping as player registration since the early 80s. One of the options, obviously, for kids to be able to continue to play with some of their current teammates, if now with the new registration taking effect in August of 2017 impacts them with their age groups, then they have the option to play up. Some people might think that that's an unfair situation of playing with teammates or against opponents who are a year to 18 months older than you. Once again, all we have to do is take a look at the current landscape in many towns where there's a small soccer population, and we have two-year age groups, U10, U14, U16. And so as an example, U16, you would have what in some clubs are the U15s and the U16s playing on the same team, simply because that's the number of players that that club has, and so they go with two-year bands. We, in fact, years ago had two-year bans in all of youth soccer, just again because of the volume. That actually had a lot of benefits to it for the players. You had the situation where you came into an age group as the younger player, but there were older players, a year older, in your team. There was that opportunity for the younger kids to learn from the older kids in the team. The older kids had the opportunity to learn leadership, to learn more responsibility, to become more of a key player within the team. And then those older kids would then move on to the next age group and become the younger kids once again, and the cycle started all over. So this, when you look at the traditional age groupings in youth soccer, which is under 6, under 8, under 10, under 12, under 14, under 16, and then a 3-year band under 19, which is high school age, and that makes a lot of sense as to why we've done that in the past, and that's still a fine thing as far as the player's development is concerned. We went to single year, not that it was any official change. Going to single year simply was an outcome of volume. It became an administrative and logistics necessity because of the volume of players and teams in clubs, and so we've just evolved with this thinking that single-year age groups is the only fair way, when in fact it has nothing to do necessarily with player development. It's just a necessity out of the number of players in a lot of places.